Did you pay school fees for your kid to suffer for you in your older age? Is your machinery in your older age? That's the basic
Wow.
question.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy, very excited. Thank you so much for subscribing, for liking, for sharing. Today I'm very excited that I have my friend, my big brother, and he's very full of wisdom. He's one of these gentlemen that I've interacted with for a very long time. And whenever I'm with him, I feel it's a privilege because more wisdom comes into me. You want to be a smarter person, identify yourself with smart people. And here I am with one and only Wagumbulizi, as we call him, but he can introduce himself.
Thank you, Samuel. I'm Simon Kagwa, a seasonal financial trainer, a chief finance officer, and at the same time, a parent.
We happen to work with Simon to serve with him in the men's ministry at our church. And one day he was facilitating in the men, and he told us that children are not your retirement package. So this message goes to all parents and those that are about to become parents. He said that children are not your retirement package. Build your wealth. That was a deep statement, and that's why I want us to build and develop our conversation today. So, Simon, Mr. Kagwa, I want to understand deeper, and I want someone out there to understand what does it mean when we say that children are not our retirement package, especially in a country like Africa, like Uganda in Africa, because in my country, in Uganda, in Africa, everywhere, people think that when they give birth, they've already found solutions to their problems. In my country, in Uganda, when people give birth to a girl child, they say that nzadde kasukali, in English, meaning that I have given birth to sugar, because they know that whoever will come to take this child into marriage, they'll bring a lot of sugar and a lot of, a lot of material wealth, and they think this girl is a source of wealth in Africa. That's been the trend. But now I want you to tell us, because you have been, actually, we are so blessed that Mr. Kagwa has been in Uganda, is a Ugandan, but he has also been in the US for some good time. He has traveled outside Uganda, so he knows. He's going to be talking to us from an informed point of view. Tell us, what do people have to understand when it comes to that kind of mindset?
Thank you, Sam. It is very interesting, actually. We are moving into a new world where things have actually changed.
Yeah.
In other states, in the other world, apart from Uganda, things have already actually moved on. But for the start, we are not obligated. All your children are not obligated for your older age. They are not in any way obligated. So whether you grow 100 years and you die miserable, they don't have any obligation to take care of you. It's not written anywhere they are supposed to take care of you.
Yeah.
Just that if you look at the world where it has moved, we have Gen Z, we have the millennials.
Yes.
Now the Gen Z have moved ahead to do a lot of things which millennials didn't do. When we grew up, we used to fancy a lot of things. Now the question is, do our children fancy the same things? Right now, people are buying a lot of land.
Wow.
People are investing money in plantations. People are investing money in many things. But my overall question is, are we doing the right investments? As you are paying school fees for your children, as you are also paying school fees for your people you take care of, you mind about yourself. In today's world where an average Ugandan earns 1 million,
Yeah.
and an average medical care for older age per month is almost half of the money, an average money you get.
Yeah.
So the question is, Did you pay school fees for your kid to suffer for you in your older age? Is your machinery in your older age? That's the basic question. You are getting 1 million. You need medicine for 500. A minimum visit for I happen to work in hospital sometimes.
Yes.
But a minimum visit for a older person at the age of 50 to 60 to do pressure test and others, a cardio and others, it might take even 700,000 shillings. Now your child is getting 1 million. That is before taxes, and after taxes, it's like 700,000 shillings. Now instead of the children starting to grow up, they start trying to solve the problems.
To solve your problems.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah. It's like paying school fees is your capital for your older age. Now that was the mindset I was trying to put out. Let us develop the entire world thinking that we are paying school fees for our kids to take care of themselves.
To take care of themselves. And this is a disclaimer. Yeah. We are not here to disappoint children from taking care of their parents. We are obligated because we too are at some point coming through for our parents whenever we can. But we're here to help that generation henceforth that, we need to wake up and start preparing and start seeing things from a different perspective. Because, when will the child ever develop themselves? Because if they are earning only 1 million and more than 800 goes into utilities and taxes and all that, so the 200 is supposed to be the one for them to save and also to take care of you. So question is, when will they ever get there? And remember, they are also bringing children,
And you want those grandsons and daughters to be also quality.
Yes.
Grandson and granddaughter.
You definitely don't expect them to be of quality, because the money that I would have used to take care of my daughter Michelle, I'm instead spending it
on healthcare.
Yeah, on healthcare for a person who never prepared for themselves.
Yeah. And you see what is happening right now. I will call it being selfish a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Of course, we are also parents, but the question is, how do you determine? My point was, how do you determine a poor and a rich person in terms of wealth? Wow. When you don't go to school, when you're not in white collar jobs or blue collar jobs, you do other saving. Let me talk about the white collar jobs. Do you know? For example, if I look at my trajectory, by the time I'm 60 years, I'll be having 1 billion Ugandan shillings on NSSF. Wow. Now that's what we call a pot of gold. A pot of gold. Gold doesn't explicitly go down. Now, by 6 years, if I have 1 billion, now my question is, if NSSF gives me 1 billion, God forbid, nothing happens. But if you give me 1 billion, now, if you look at lifespan of a human being, now those are more 40 years. Now, I don't have children to pay school fees for. I've already taken them to school. They're also doing something. Now, the 1 billion can cater for my day-to-day needs. That's the reason why we develop a pot of gold.
A pot of gold.
And now the question was, children are not supposed to be a retirement package. You get your retirement package. You are supposed to build it now. You can even use your pot of gold to even put in more capital for your children. Actually, your children are supposed to feed on you until when you die. Rather, you are not supposed to feed on your children.
Because children remain children.
That's it.
Children remain children. They remain your responsibility.
Until
death.
Until death. And these are the perceptions we need to change. Now look at a parent, a child finishing university, a girl child finishing university, and then they ask a dowry price of 20 million from the boy child. Now you want to capitalize on the development and trying to improve on living income of an individual. And at the same time, you are fighting it downwards. Now the key question is, who is supposed to provide the dowry? And which kind of dowry is supposed to be provided? Do you need to get a business plan for the child? Or do you need to develop a concept for the child? Now those are the questions which don't have answers. But the beauty is that we have a chance right now. For example, if you're not in white collar jobs, you have some money. You can build your pot of gold.
Yes.
How do you build your pot of gold? If Simon needs 20 years to build a pot of gold, you can also use your system. Like you can plant trees for 20 years. You keep on planting trees for 20 years. Now by the time you are retired at 60 with a lot of trees, that becomes your package.
Yes.
You just need 3 timber trees to get sugar, to get meat. You don't need to give a call that, hey, Musisi, I don't have money for meat. You get. You are 60 years, you are asking a boy child of what? 25 years to give you food. Now, the question came into existence that if you go into European markets and the world economy, after 45 years or 50 years,
yes,
most of the whites are done with work. They are using their pot of gold. They are using their savings to come and actually invest in Africa. Some of them come to do some tours. They even don't know where their children are. I can give a basic example of the Dr. Ankara. Yeah. Dr. Ankara is in Uganda. The children are working in World Bank. Some of them are working in Ghana. Yes. They are very rich people. They don't even need anything from her. Wealth. Actually, and that's where we're supposed to start building our wealth.
Yeah.
You see, there's a difference between being rich and being wealthy. And there's a difference between being poor and being broke. You get. Now, the quick question we need to emphasize here is that when you earn 1 million, when you earn, let me go to the least person. Let me say the border guy who earns 70,000 shillings a day after taxes. If he saves 20,000 shillings per day, that is 600,000 per month. Those are 6 millions in a year, almost. In 20 years, that is 120 millions. In 40 years, that is 240 millions. Now, that is the average Ugandan. Now, it's about mindset. It's typical about mindset.
So people should stop thinking that, oh my God, I never went to school, for me, I'm a border rider. Recently, I've been telling several of my border friends, I was telling them, you guys have no idea, especially in a country like Uganda that I know, and you are in the central here, you have no idea how much you are wealthy, that you are capable of becoming a rich person if only you knew that you knew how to manage your finances well, because they earn the money. But because of the mindset that they are border riders, like they never went to school, they think that they have to, they must have gone to school to, to prepare for this.
And what is school? That's the definition. That's the question. Many people are doing school at home learning. Now, what is school? That's the first question. And that's what I always tell people. What is school? And actually, I take it back to you because you need a lot of youth. There is what we call financial inclusion. Youth have a lot of money, but you don't know what to use it for.
That's true.
If you are getting 100,000 shillings per day, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot.
Let us say 70,000, 50 for a lazy person on a border. It gets 50,000 shillings per day. That is 1 million. Let us call it 22 working days. 22 working days times 50. That's 1,100,000 shillings. Now these guys don't even pay taxes.
They don't pay
taxes. Now a banker who is on a till, who went to school for 22 years, also gets 1 million before taxes. Take home is 700 or 690 something without transport. Now without data. Now by the time he finishes home, his disposable income is 400,000. With even the high expectation for the parents. Now what about you who is on a border, who is getting 1 million and you're using the border to transport you to the work? And you call yourself poor. Now that's the mindset. Poor rich, poor town rich. Now that's where the mindset comes in. And those are the things we need to start teaching our youth.
Yes.
We need to bring them in what we call financial inclusion. We teach them how to handle money. We teach them that money is not supposed to be in cash. Money is supposed to be in bank. You can start planning your money. You can actually even also save in NSSF. We call it voluntary saving.
Oh, there is that?
Voluntary saving, yes.
Okay.
You can pay 15% of your money in NSSF. By 60 years, you get your money back. And what is funny, people don't tell other people that NSSF has even a better interest rate. And right now, last year I got 15% interest and bonuses on my NSSF. Now, notwithstanding that there are other unit trustees, there is treasury bills, there is treasury bonds, there are long-term bonds which can take care of a lot of things. And these people don't know them. Even the people who know them, the educated one, they don't use them because they are under pressure to impress people. But these border guys, they are the people who have 1 million on account or in their pockets. They put it under the bed. They don't have any succession plan. When they die with everything. And these are things we need to start teaching people. Because in our youth sector, from churches, from schools, from wherever we are moving, we are surrounded by people of that kind. We need to teach them and we educate them and we give them those certificate of inclusion, so that they can understand they have also actually gone to school. Going to school. When they learn border, that is school.
That is school.
When they learn financial inclusion, that is school. The European mindset of that school is going to education is going to school and attain a certificate has to keep changing. Whites have moved away from that line. A white from USA with a certificate is better than a person with a degree sometimes this way, because they are learning a skill.
Yeah, they are learning.
For us, we are learning education. You get?
That is sad.
And those are things we need to start changing. And that goes back to the question: are you going to be riding your motorcycle for 60 years? Your children are not your retirement plan.
They are not your retirement.
At 6, you'll be on a motorcycle. You start getting hernia. You get out of diseases. There is a lot. Your back will start paining. Your spine will start paining. Now
whatever you're doing right now, it's just for this period.
That's it.
As you grow, life is changing. The system is going to throw you out. And what's the safest thing to do? Prepare. Prepare ahead of time. That way you will not regret in any way.
And that's life. And you see, this topic is a long topic.
Long.
There is mindset, there is change. People don't want change. But the realistic bit is that, what do you invest in? Are you investing in only social capital in terms of money, or social capital in terms of personnel, or social capital in terms of the environment you live in? What is your retirement plan?
What is your retirement plan?
Are you waiting? Are you trying to pray that, oh God, help my child to become a pilot? He will help me. Your child is 10 years. You are 30 years. You are telling a child of 10 years to help you in the next 40 years. Why don't you plan your package right now?
You still have time.
Why do you pay school fees of 4 million when your disposable income in a year is 1 million? There is a lot to learn. We need to change our education system. I always tell people that the world cannot be changed by everyone.
Yeah.
You need to start at what you are good at.
Start at what you are good at.
We shall reach at one point as a triangle.
Yeah.
Me, when I start from this angle, another person starts from this angle, pastors start from this angle, businessmen start from this angle, parents start from this angle, we shall reach. But if everyone sits behind and we don't talk about these things, the world is going to be like that. We are spacing out of problems, but it all goes back to how we plan. We've seen people who were very rich when we were young, but at 60 people ask one question: what happened to those people?
What exactly happened? That really bothers me. Even I think about 2 days ago, we were in the car with some people and we were driving and we were passing by a certain property of a person that we used to know in the 90s, and it was a very wealthy family, and we were wondering what exactly went wrong. And now I know what went wrong is people didn't have this information. And one of the places that you don't want to be at is the place of regret. You don't want to regret. So the earlier you accept this reality, the better for you, the better for your children. Until next time, thank you so much, Simon. Thank you for sparing time for me. We are going to host you again because the world needs this wisdom.
Thank you, Sam.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Amen.
And see you. Cheers.